Hi everyone! When the biggest secret is revealed, nothing will ever be the same. Today's episode takes us into wild confrontations between human and something far darker. So before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support keeps these recaps coming. The episode starts with Yan 2 going to the car that had an accident with him, and Ji was inside. He notices movement in the bag in the car, opens the trunk, and the bag moves as if there is a person inside. Then Ryu wakes up and finds herself tied up. Yantu says to her, "Don't be afraid, I'm not a good person exactly like you." She asks who he is, but he says, "Tell me, who are you first, and who's in the car's trunk?" She looks at the trunk but doesn't see Soon and asks where he is. But he says, "Answer my question first." She says, "I'm a sculptor who came here to draw inspiration. And my driver got injured. I need to take him to the hospital." He says, "The driver got injured, so you put him in a travel bag and threw him in the trunk? Are you saving him or disposing of the body?" She says, "I'll give you what you want, just let me go." Then he takes her phone from her pocket, opens it, and confirms she is a sculptor, but mocks her, says, "You look like a crazy killer." She pretends she's choking and needs her asthma inhaler, so he goes to get it from the car. She comes from behind and hits him. He loses consciousness. She checks what's in the car's trunk, recognizes it's the one who hit the driver soon. Yanchu wakes up inside the car's trunk. Gio takes him and goes to Nanshan Hunters, hands them over to Uncle Jiang, and says, "I'll deliver these 3 person and do one more mission to settle my debt. Then I will live forever." Yantu hears their conversation. Uncle Jiang says to her, "Go, who can stop you? Enjoy your life as an artist." And he is upset as she's leaving them. She opens the car's trunk and says, "This is my driver. He got beaten because of me." And the other one, named Yantu, works for Xiao, and this is Xiao embodied in a human form. "If you have an explanation, tell me." He sees Sun's wound and she says, "Save him. He is an innocent." He says, "But the weather is cloudy these days. We might not wait for the sun." She says, "We can let him die too. He is an innocent. But the other two, do what you want with them." Then Kwang throws her the blade of fate and says, "You're the only one supporting us from outside. You have done more than all of us as a team in the mountain patrol. Are you really leaving? Stay with us." People in Nanshan lived in bees, but now Xiao appears in a human form, and you caught him. What we are facing now for Nanshan hunters is something our ancestor never faced. It's not easy." She says, "I came to deliver the mission, not to hear this talk." He says, "We trained from childhood to make Xiao disappear completely from the world. Now the opportunity has come." She said, "I need to leave. The official reason is I don't want more death or separation. The selfish reason is I want a normal life. The logical reason is we trained from childhood to face the Xiao but never faced one. And strangely, when we do, we face the human form. My power might not be enough, so I'm scared and want to escape. These are all the reasons. Choose the one that suits you and watch out. Mess doesn't just create heroes, it also charms souls." She said that and leaves him. Then we know the real reason for her departure. When she was a child, her mother was from Nanshan Hunters and left her because of their missions. Then her mother and father died, and her uncle's wife wanted her to go to an orphanage. Then Uncle Jiang comes and takes her to Nanshan's internal school, which trains children to become hunters. Ling meets her, friendly, and says, "You are very similar to your mother. She was my close friend, so you can call me Aunt Ling. We are all indebted to your mother for our lives. Without her, all Nanshan hunters would have died." Then Jiu sees Kwang is training alone at night and tells him that she is from Blade School. She's new and wants to train so she doesn't fall behind the others. And he said that despite being a tracker dog, his nose isn't strong enough. He can detect Xiao in the dark, but he can't train in physical art to defeat them. Then we know that all Link's life was restored thanks to Gio's mother. She couldn't bear the other injuries and dies too. Gio is very sad. Then we back to the present and Gio returns to her quiet home. Yan too is imprisoned in a snowy place and asks Quang who's the Xiao, and Quang replies he's a creature that opposes us completely. Quang asks him many questions about the Xiao, but Yan Tu doesn't understand anything and doesn't even know what this creature is. After what happened, he just understood that this is a creature opposing this organization. Then Lin tortures Cheong Ha and he says, "Torture me more, I deserve banishment," and promises her he will find Yan Tu. After that, he reaches the place where Go Yan and Yan Tu are imprisoned, attacks Nanshan hunters and take Go Yan. Yan Tu frees himself, chokes Chiang until he loses consciousness and could escape. Then one of the hunters team calls Jiu and tells her about what happened and says they took Yan Tu and Go Yan and the hunters got injured. Chiang is fine now, but Hua Saozi is in intensive care, still in critical condition. He asks her to share in the upcoming operation. They reviewed the cameras and found that the whistle whip proved effective against human Xiao, and Hua Saozi abilities can handle more than one person at the same time, but human Xiao is hard to deal with, and Xiong Ha attacked her violently. Then Lin talks to Dr. Louis Xian and he comes to examine Yan Tu. His sister enter very worried about him. We know that Dr. Louis Xian had studied medicine with a grant from the Russian groups, so he's grateful to them. Lin tries to prank Louis and Lin closer and says to them, "You should communicate more than this." Then Yan Tu tells Lin what happened and said that the path wasn't clear. Suddenly a car appeared from nowhere, hit him. Then he found himself imprisoned in a cold place. Fortunately, Xiong Ha arrived in time, otherwise I would have died from the cold. Lin asks, "Did anyone tell you anything?" And he says, "I hear them talking and learn they are very interested in Go Yan. Don't know why." She asks, "Are you interested in Go Yan too?" He replies, "No, just curious. Is curiosity forbidden?" She says, "You have grown up. It's your right to know some truth and bear some responsibilities too." Yan Tu listens attentively. She tells him that they do drug experiments on humans before releasing them to the market, so they are always one step ahead of other companies. Guyan was a volunteer in these experiments. We promised him a lot of money and a job. He says, "The job in the orphanage?" And she replies, "Yeah, because the orphanage is a charitable institution and we fund it. So the place is under our control. Unfortunately, some side effects happen to Guyan because of this drug, but since we choose to take the risk, we have to pay the consequences." And then Eve believes her. She says, "Welcome to the adult world." He says, "I have grown up. You have to tell me everything and let me deal with it." She said, "No matter how big you grow, you will remain my child." Then Lin talks to Xionghe and says, "At first we're hiding and didn't know how to feed them direct. It seems we're starting to gain control gradually." Xionghe talks about Hua Saozi and said that she has special skills in using the whistle whip. She's important to them and I caused her serious injury, so they won't ignore it. And Lin says, "I know what they want, but don't let Yan Tu intervene again." Then Ji wakes up, finds Yan Tu at her house, and he says, "You woke up quickly. Why?" "I want to contemplate your artworks in peace." She says, "Breaking into a private room. How many years in prison?" He says, "Anyway, less than intentional harm." And she replies, "Self-defense has no punishment." He says, "Calm down. I just have some questions. Maybe you will have the answer." But she attacks him. He tries to make her listen, but in vain. While fighting, he knocks over her sculpture and it breaks. The maid hears the noise and is about to come to check on her, but Jiu says to her, "Don't worry, it fell from my hand." They continue fighting. He's about to fall from the balcony, but she grabs his hand. But when she sees the maid coming, she lets go. He falls. She says to the maid, "It's just a fly, but I've hired her now." On the next day, Lu tells her, "You haven't achieved any success yet. To act so messily, even madness, is a privilege for the great." wait. He mocks her new sculpture that's not even complete yet. He gives her 2 tickets to the exposition of the most famous sculptor now. He says, hold an exposition and instead of sitting bringing things at home. Then she goes to the exposition and leaves up, gets in a taxi and discovers that the driver is Yan too. He says to her, answer my question and I won't bother you again. But she refuses. So he drives very fast thinking that she will get scared and answer. He asks about the Xiao again, about the meaning of rooting and growth, and also about the cause of the constant conflict with the Xiao. But she asks, what's your relationship with Goyan? And he says, it's not your business. So she refuses to answer again. He gets angry, drives even faster, jumps off the bridge into the water. We discover Jiu has a phobia of water. She's terrified. He tries to calm her. He says, close your eyes, hold your breath, and trust me. He gets her out of the car and saves her. She walks up, terrified, finds Yan Tu sitting in front of her, asking the same questions. Again, she's having many nightmares. Then she wakes up in the morning in her room, asks her maid how she get home. The maid replies, you were sleeping in front of the door and I saw a white car speeding away. Then we see Yan Tu opening a hidden safe in the ground and taking out diaries. So our recap ends here. Guess what? Thrilling twists and dark secrets will unfold next. Get ready for more suspense and surprise in the next episode. So don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay hooked on the mystery. Goodbye.